This fan was made in 1989, which was actually the first year the Venus came into production, and these lasted up until 1996. Definitely an elaborate design for Casablanca. These came in a few different versions. What we have here is the gallery edition with the K24 Venus light kit that looks like a UFO or a flying saucer. You had a version that was completely not light kit adaptable with a green double ring dome on the bottom. You also had a version with a standard switch housing where you can mount any universal light kit onto it. Those weren't as common. You don't see those that much. And then in the early 90s, Casablanca brought about the Venus Halo, which the term halo for Casablanca means that it has an uplight. Those I'd really like to find. Those were also available as Comfort Touch. I don't believe the standard Venuses were ever available as Comfort Touch. This is an intelli-touch model. It is from February 16th, 1989, and it was the 451st fan made that day. I'm using a 50-watt halogen bulb in the light kit. It's not bright at all. It's supposed to take a 150. The reason why I put a lower wattage bulb in there is because I want to save the flywheel, because this one's in good shape. Sorry, I'm just fixing the control. I just ghetto rigged it here. Hopefully it stays. This one is much heavier than most Casablancas. And they're not very easy to assemble either. The heavy construction goes to show how substantially built these were. And these also went for pretty expensive when new. Hence why you don't see these that much. These came in snow white and gloss black. I would like to find gloss black for one of these at some point, because I think they're just perfect. This is the first one of these I've ever seen in person. I got this fan from fan collector Logan, who is Ceiling Fans Rock on YouTube, at Robbie's PA meet of last year. $1989 was not a great year for Casablanca in terms of their flywheels. And especially for heavier fans like this, they're not really strong to hold this kind of weight. Heavy blade hubs and, excuse me, blade hubs and, or heavy blades as well. If these were still being made today, these would probably go for quadruple of what it retailed back in the late 80s into the 90s. Which is obscene. This fan was designed by Jean-Clyde Mason, who also designed the Saturn, the halogen star, Mercury, etc., etc. Definitely an elaborate design. There were a couple copies of this model, both in which didn't really measure up to Casablanca's standards. This one has the notched recall canopy. Some would have the tiered canopies. You typically see those on the Saturn. And of course the furnace is running in the background, because of course it is. Fan has an Emerson K25 motor. Does wobble a little bit, but it's not as terrible. I'm not going to leave it on high for too long. It'll be coming down after the video. This fan measures 52 inches. By nature, Casablanca is kind of interesting with their measurements. There was actually a version of the Venus that is stupid rare. I'm not exactly sure what that one was called, but it had a completely different decorative switch housing, and I think the ring was integrated onto it. Casablanca also had matching lamps for the Venus. Those actually came earlier on. I'm not exactly sure when. It was between 86 and 88. But the Venus fan came out in 89, which is... yeah, I'm not sure why they decided to introduce it later on. Why couldn't they just introduce it with the lamps? Alright, and that was my gallery edition Casablanca Venus in Snow White from 1989. Hope you all enjoyed, and thank you all for watching. Stay tuned for more.